It's loaded with healthy microbes that literally can't be killed off with overapplication, and plants grown with it have shown to have better disease resistance. What is this miracle substance? It's worm castings, i.e. excrement. Let's talk about why earthworms may be the very best worker in your garden that you never hired. Hi, Carol from Almost 2 Acres. Let's talk about worm poo.
Let's start with the basics. Worm castings, also called wormicast or vermicompost, are essentially earthworm manure, but calling them worm poo really doesn't do them justice. When earthworms digest organic matter, something almost magical happens in their digestive system. The material passes through the worm's gizzard, where it's ground up with the help of small stones and grit. Then it moves into the intestine, where it's mixed with enzymes, beneficial bacteria, and mucus. What comes out the other end is completely transformed. It's not just broken down organic matter, it's a nutrient-rich, microbially active substance that's been chemically and biologically enhanced by the worm's digestive process. Each casting is coated in a thin layer of mucus from the worm's intestine. This mucus is rich in nitrogen and helps the casting hold its granular shape. But more importantly, it's loaded with beneficial microorganisms that were cultured in the worm's gut. Think of an earthworm as a living, mobile fermentation factory. Just like the fermentation we do with vegetables or kombucha, what's happening inside that worm is a complex biological process. It involves billions of beneficial bacteria breaking down organic matter into its most bioavailable form. And unlike most animal manures, which need to age or compost because they can burn plants with excess nitrogen, worm castings are instantly plant available and impossible to overapply. You literally cannot harm a plant with too many worm castings. Try that with chicken manure and see what happens. Let's get into the nitty-gritty science, because understanding what's in castings helps you appreciate why they work so incredibly well. First, the NPK, that's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Worm castings typically contain around 1 to 2% nitrogen, 1 to 2% phosphorus, and 1 to 1.5% potassium. Now, if you're used to looking at synthetic fertilizers with their 10-10-10 or 20-20-20 ratios, these numbers might seem low. But here's the critical difference. These nutrients are in slow-release plant-available forms. The nitrogen is primarily in the form of nitrate and ammonium, which plants can use immediately without further breakdown. The phosphorus is in forms that don't bind up in the soil like synthetic phosphorus does, and the potassium is water-soluble and immediately available. Research from Ohio State University found that worm castings have 5 times the nitrogen, 7 times the phosphorus, 3 times the magnesium, and 11 times the potassium of regular soil. And because these nutrients are bound up in organic compounds and slow-release forms, they stay available in the soil for much longer than synthetic fertilizers. But castings aren't just about NPK. They're loaded with essential micronutrients that plants need in smaller quantities: calcium, magnesium, iron, manganese, zinc, copper, and boron. These are all present in forms that are readily absorbed by plant roots. Here's something interesting. Studies show that worm castings contain 50% more calcium, 7 times more phosphorus, and 11 times more potassium than the material the worms consumed. The worms aren't creating these nutrients. They're converting them into forms that are exponentially more available to plants. The biological component is where it gets great for gardeners. Worm castings contain somewhere between 10,000 and 50,000 beneficial microorganisms per gram. We're talking bacteria, fungi, actinomycetes, and protozoa. These aren't just random microbes. They're specifically beneficial organisms that were cultured in the worm's gut. These microorganisms do several critical things in your soil. They continue breaking down organic matter, releasing nutrients slowly over time. They compete with and suppress harmful pathogens. They form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, helping them access nutrients. They provide hormones and enzymes that stimulate plant growth. Research from Cornell University found that plants grown with worm castings showed increased resistance to diseases like root rot, wilts, and various fungal infections. This isn't because castings are fungicidal. It's because the beneficial microbes outcompete the harmful ones. Worm castings are incredibly rich in humic substances, specifically humic acid and fulvic acid. These complex organic compounds are worth understanding because they're absolute necessities for soil health. Humic acids act like tiny nutrient warehouses. They have this incredible ability to hold on to mineral nutrients and make them available to plant roots over time. They also improve soil structure, increase water retention, and stimulate root growth. Studies have shown that the humic acid content in worm castings can be up to 40% higher than in regular compost. That's massive. Worm castings contain natural plant growth hormones like auxins, gibberellins, and cytokinins. These are the same hormones that regulate plant growth, flowering, and fruiting. Research has shown that when you add worm castings to soil, plant growth rates can increase by 50 to 70%. Flowering increases by 25 to 30%, and fruit production goes up by 20 to 30%. We're not talking about forcing growth with synthetic hormones. These are natural growth regulators that plants respond to beautifully. Okay, so we've talked about what's in castings. Now let's talk about what they actually do for your soil and plants. They improve soil structure. Worm castings have this beautiful granular structure. If you ever handle them, you know that they're kind of like coffee grounds or very fine compost. These granules are remarkably stable and help create soil aggregates. In clay soils, castings help break up compaction and improve drainage. In sandy soils, they add structure and improve water retention. They're like the universal soil conditioner. Research from North Carolina State University found that adding just 20% worm castings by volume to potting soil increased water retention by 30% while still improving drainage. That seems contradictory until you understand that castings improve soil structure in a way that creates both water-holding pore spaces and drainage pathways. They feed the soil food web. Remember those billions of microorganisms in castings? When you add castings to your soil, you're not just fertilizing plants, you're feeding and building the entire soil food web. Healthy soil isn't just dirt with nutrients, it's a living ecosystem. The microbes in castings kickstart and sustain that ecosystem. They break down organic matter, cycle nutrients, suppress diseases, and create the conditions where plants thrive. Think of it like this. Synthetic fertilizers are like giving your plants an IV drip of nutrients. Worm castings are like building a healthy digestive system so plants can properly absorb nutrients from their environment. They increase nutrient retention. One of the biggest problems with synthetic fertilizers is leaching. Nutrients wash right through the soil into groundwater, causing pollution and wasting your money. Worm castings act like a nutrient sponge. The humic acids and microbial activity bind nutrients in the soil, holding them available for plant roots while preventing leaching. Studies show that castings can reduce nitrogen leaching by up to 70%. Multiple university studies have documented that plants grown with worm castings showed improved resistance to pests and diseases. This isn't because castings are pesticidal. It's because healthy, well-fed plants with strong immune systems are naturally more resistant. Research from the University of Cornell showed that tomato plants grown with worm castings had 80% less fungal disease than control plants. Pepper plants showed increased resistance to aphids. These aren't isolated findings. This has been replicated in study after study. There's even evidence that the beneficial microbes in castings produce antibiotics and other compounds that directly suppress harmful pathogens. Let's bring this home with practical reasons why you want worm castings in your garden. For seed starting, mix worm castings 20 to 30% into your seed starting mix. For seeds germinate faster, seedlings develop stronger root systems, and you get virtually no damping off disease. For container gardens, mix castings into potting soil at 10 to 20% by volume. Your containers will need less frequent fertilizing, hold water better, and plants will be healthier. This is especially valuable because container plants are dependent on what you put in that pot. They can't reach out to better soil like in-ground plants can. For transplanting, add a handful of castings to the planting hole when transplanting seedlings. The growth hormones reduce transplant shock, and the nutrients give plants an immediate boost. Studies show transplanted seedlings with castings establish 40% faster than those without. For established plants, top dress around the base of the plants, then water in. The nutrients slowly release over weeks and months. You can do this quarterly for heavy feeders like tomatoes or twice a season for most perennials. Worm castings make incredible compost tea. The microbes multiply rapidly in the tea, and you can spray it on leaves or water it in. Research shows plants treated with casting tea have increased disease resistance and better nutrient uptake. Here's something worth considering. A 15-pound bag of quality worm castings costs $25 to $40. That same amount in synthetic fertilizer might cost $15 to $20, but the castings last 3 to 4 times longer, improve soil health rather than degrading it, and eliminate disease problems that might cost you plants or pesticides. And if you make your own castings, you're turning kitchen scraps and yard waste into black gold for nearly no cost. We'll talk about how to do that in the next video. If you're not quite ready to create your own worm castings with little red wiggling friends, there's my affiliate link in the description for you to have a look at a commercial alternative. Before we wrap up, let me address common questions asked most often about worm castings. Question 1. Can you really not over-apply them? Seriously, no, because the nutrients are in organic, slow-release forms and the microbial activity is beneficial. You cannot harm plants with excessive castings. Question 2. How do they compare to compost? Both are excellent, but they're different. Compost is bulkier, adds more organic matter, and is great for building soil. Castings are more concentrated in nutrients and beneficial microbes, and they're more refined. Think of compost as whole wheat bread and castings as enriched flour. Both valuable, different uses. I use compost for amending beds and building soil volume. Castings are used for targeted feeding, seed starting, and situations where quick results are needed. Question 3. Do they smell? Pure worm castings have an earthy, pleasant smell, kind of like forest floor after rain. If castings smell bad, they're either not fully processed or they're mixed with partially composted material. Good castings smell good. Question 4. How long do they last in the soil? The nutrients continue releasing for 2 to 6 months depending on soil conditions, but the microbial benefits and soil structure improvements last much longer. One application improves soil for multiple growing seasons. Question 5. Are all worm castings the same? No. Quality depends on what the worms were fed, the worm species, processing methods, and storage. Castings from worms fed diverse quality materials will be richer than castings from worms fed only cardboard. Fresh castings have more active microbes than castings that have been sitting in a bag for months. This is why making your own is ideal. You control the quality of inputs. Now you know, worm castings really are as close to a perfect fertilizer as nature provides. They're nutrient rich but impossible to overuse. They're loaded with beneficial microbes that build soil health. They improve soil structure, increase water retention, and boost plant immunity. And they provide slow release nutrition that keeps working for months. Next video, we'll cover choosing the right bin, getting your worms, what to feed them, maintaining the right conditions, and harvesting your castings. If you can feed a goldfish, you can feed a worm bin. Give this video a like if you learned something, and until next time, let's get growing, maybe even some worms.